So there's a new function in Siril 1.4 called region of interest, and it's used across multiple tools. It's a way for you to draw a selection, a region of interest around your image, and just do work on that little piece that you've selected. It can help with things like deconvolution and denoising. Because those processes take a long time to complete on the entire image, you can work them now just in that region of interest. The second use for it would be if when you're doing some stretching or color saturation, any kind of little tweaks like that don't take a lot of time, but you want a kind of a side-by-side comparison of a before and the after, so you can have your untouched image draw a region of interest and, for example, bump up the color saturation, and you can see the effects it will have, but just in that region of interest while you're still looking at the original image in its unaltered state. So it's a cool little tool, like I said, that works across multiple features within Siril. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will put a list up on the screen here of all the tools that the region of interest currently are available in. And one last thing, just so you're aware, I'm taking a look at the tool in the beta version of Siril 1.4. So if anything changes of any great importance, I'll leave it down in the description below to let you guys know. So let's take a look at the new region of interest from Siril in version 1.4. My name is Rich, and you're watching Deep Space Astro. Okay, so let's start with an example where using a region of interest can save you a lot of time during your processing. Right now I have Siril's deconvolution tool opened up. I already have my PSF generated, so we're ready to go with this. The way Siril's deconvolution tool works, it's a back and forth process, right? You'll play with your iterations, you'll play with your descent step size, and increase and decrease until your stars look the way that you want them to look. Previous to region of interest, we used to crop the image down. That way we're just working on a small portion of it until it looks the way that we want, and then we would undo that crop and apply the settings that we determined work properly for our image. With the region of interest, we skip all that. We can do it all without needing to crop. So first thing I want you to pay attention to are the two buttons here, close and apply. Once I set my region of interest, you'll see a third button that pops up over here. So now to set the region of interest, just left mouse button click and draw a selection anywhere in the image, and then right click, go to ROI for region of interest, and then set ROI to selection. This message will pop up telling you that the tool that you currently have open does in fact support region of interest. So click OK, and you'll notice the selection box went green to also indicate that the tool does support ROI. So now with the settings that I have in my deconvolution tool, I can come over, and here's the new button between the close and apply I was talking about for our region of interest preview. So instead of clicking apply and applying my settings to the entire image, I'll click ROI preview, and it'll apply it just to my region of interest that I specified. It's a lot faster. It allows you to work a lot quicker, especially through stuff like deconvolution and Siril's denoising, the stuff that usually takes a long time to get through. As you can see, it's done already. It's applied the deconvolution to my region of interest. At this point, if I decided that looks good and that's what I want, then I would come over and just click the apply button, and it would now apply it to the entire image. And this is the part that takes a long time, applying it to the entire image. So I'm going to pause the video right now and then come back when it's done. All right, so now that that's complete, I'll just close my deconvolution window and then right click ROI and then clear ROI to clear our region of interest. And then I can click anywhere on the image to clear the selection. Okay, so now the second use case is when you're using some of these functions and it'll kind of give you a side-by-side. It has nothing to do with speeding processes up, but it kind of allows you to see your image in its current state, as well as what effect the changes you make depending on the tool you're using are going to have on that image, while having both of those views on the screen. So I'm gonna open up the same image, but I've removed the stars and have done a little bit of stretching on it already, just to have something as an example. So I'll jump back into stretches and my generalized hyperbolic stretch. Like I said, I started stretching it. I still have some work to do on it. But if I wanted to see the effect it was going to have just on a certain region, I could, again, draw a selection, right click, region of interest, set region of interest to selection. And on this one, what you'll notice is there is no region of interest preview button in the tool that I'm using. And that's by design. So if the tool supports region of interest and it already has a preview button like this one does here, then you will not have a preview button. So with our preview on and a region of interest selected, I could start stretching a little bit more. And as I go across here, you'll see it's just in the region of interest that I specified instead of the whole image. And it's a nice way to, like I said, give you a side-by-side. You can zoom in here and you can see the effect it's going to have. And instead of stretching the whole image and then undoing it and redoing it to go back and forth, you can check your settings this way. Another thing you can do, and I could have done the same thing with the deconvolution example. If I wanted to move this region of interest, left mouse button click and just drag it. Now my region of interest is still the green box, but it's showing me here where I just dragged it to. So if I was to right click and again set my region of interest to my selection, it'll move it to that new position. And now the changes that I'm making are still in the region of interest, but in the new position that I made on the screen. So let's reset that back and close this. We'll go back into a full screen view. I am going to clear my region of interest, and I'm going to show you what's a quicker way of setting your region of interest. So if we come up top here and go into our preferences, then over into user interface, scroll down and you'll see we have an option here for region of interest. Right now the type of selection is set to manual, exactly what we've been doing. We've been drawing our selection, right clicking and setting it. If you change this to automatic from selection and then click apply, now all I gotta do is draw a selection, and if I was to run generalized hyperbolic stretch again, it'll automatically set that as my region of interest for me. So I don't have to right click and set it. I don't have to right click and remove it when I'm done. It'll do it automatically for me. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I love this feature within Siril. Makes things a lot easier, helps speed some processes up. It lets you do a side-by-side so you can see a before and after before you even apply it to your whole image. I think it's a great improvement to the tool. I want to take this time to say thank you to all my members here on YouTube and on Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate everybody's support. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video when I release them. And just like always, I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing, liking. Any questions, drop them in the comments for me. We'll see you on the next video, and clear skies.